Hello and welcome back to Nonsense Hammer. It's the February of the first video game thing that we're doing. Oh god, I'm lost. Welcome.
It's the what?
It's the video game thing that we're doing.
For the February 1st, not...
February 1st, yes. Nonsense! Welcome. We are doing something that was requested by one of our lovely viewers, the Mr. Bingle Bang Bang, which as of filming right now, he is out there in Birmingham playing Pokemon for a elite set of cards. So we wish you luck from beyond the video.
No.
Yes, you are a nerd. Anyway, back to Warhammer.
Yes.
So, there was a comment that was left that was, wouldn't it be fun to see the old Grand Alliance armies back? And I apparently didn't need any sleep over the last few weeks, so I decided I'd write Grand Alliance Armies of Renown. So here we are, Grand Alliance. These are Armies of Renown I have written specifically for the idea of order versus destruction, because they're the only ones that we have multiple armies of. Hopefully later down the line, when Stephen's allowed to buy Azyr Bone Reapers and Emma picks up Assault like Gravelords, and Stephen goes further into Chaos, we'll get the...
We'll do an annual Grand Alliance. Yeah.
Who knows? But yes, we've only got destruction and order, and they kind of felt two very useful ones to do. So, the themes here that we've written, that this is all custom written apart from the actual War Scrolls. If you're here for a normal game of your 2,000 point games, there is a 2,000 point game here, but it's not going to be General's Handbook, and it's not going to be your usual tournament stuff.
It's not going to be normal.
If you want to see that, come back on the 14th of February where we'll be doing a Valentine's Day special.
Yeah.
More on that on the 14th.
More on.
Yes. But Army of Renowns have been specially written by moi, and they essentially work in the same way as any other Army of Renown. You can pick a selection of units from your faction, but this time rather than the faction being Stormcast or Sylvaneth or Ironjaws, you are selecting it from the Grand Alliance. So Emma's been able to pick from Stormcast, Sylvaneth, Daughters, if she had them, could add Seraphon, Fireslayers, Lumineth Realmlords, the other ones that nobody cares about.
Because I'm choosing order.
Yes, because you're playing the Order Grand Alliance.
Yes.
That included the fact that she could include Gotrek Gurnison, and apparently Gotrek isn't on the board, so I feel special.
I know. I didn't want to play something I've never played.
We're playing a video of something we've never played because it's only existed now!
Yes.
Anyway, so yes, we're playing that. I've done a similar thing, the Army of Renown, where everything is destruction based. So I could take Sons of Bahamut, I could take Ironjaws, I could take Cruel Boys and not have to say the word Bigwar anywhere. I could take Ogres and I could take Gloomspike Geats, but unfortunately we don't own those. So, on the screen, hopefully Stephen has started to show what the actual Armies of Renown do, but as I've got mine out in front of me first, I'll explain a bit more about what we've got. So, Army of Renown for destruction is called Ead Stompas.
I'm going to go to the arms on the board.
Da-da-da-da. So, as we said, this is an Army of Renown. It replaces all faction rules, so I can't use the Mighty Destroyers for my Ironjaws units. I can't use Trampling Charge for my Ogres units. Not allowed to use Regiments of Renown. Can use Faction Terrain, but I don't currently have it. Can use Kragnos, don't currently have one. And restricted to one unique hero for each faction included in the army. So I could take, for example, Godrak and Gobsprak, but I couldn't take Godrak and Kragnos because technically they're both in one. And then, yeah, there's the usual battle traits. So we've got hero phase, pick some heroes, they get a cunning keyword. There'll be more on this on the screen for you, so I'm not having to just read it out word for word. Pick some heroes to get the cunning keyword. They can also help someone who has their own faction within 3 inches to have that same keyword. That means that they can run and charge in the charge phase. The timber rule of your Sons of Bahamut now affect Maw Crushers and Kragnos, and also someone else. Yes, Maw Crushers and Kragnos. And then we've got the ability for cunning characters to add 1 to attacks and hit rolls in the combat phase, and reroll ones, because I've played a lot of 40k recently and that seems to be a rule they do. And end of turn phase, there's some control score abilities that I'll be playing around. My general for today will be my Weird Knob Shaman, who is in his own regiment, Blind Pew, who will not have the artifact of power or the hero trait that I've taken for this game. but I'll go into those in a second. Next to him are the next regiment I have, which is the Mega Boss, with 2 sets of 5 brutes. There's one hidden behind this terrain piece over here. My Mega Boss has the hero trait Boss Stomper, which basically means he always counts as having the Kunnin keyword, and he has a 5+ ward. Next to him are a set of Gut Rippers, and then we skim over this way to the final part of this regiment of a Gnash Tooth, another set of Gut Rippers, and a reinforced set of Manskewer Bolt Boys. He's not got anything fancy. I then have my final 2 regiments of a Butcher by himself, and then the regiment of the Tyrant with a set of Gluttons. The Tyrant will have the Artifact of Power, the Draconith's Jawbone, where he can do a 2-fight abilities in the combat phase, but the second one has Strike Last, and it suffers some penalties for doing a second fight. And then finally, just in case anyone's trying to work out how do we work out the spells on this one, I've kind of done the same thing in both of them. This one I've called Listener, so it's a bit more fitting. And that has basically been every time you add a faction to your Army of Renown, you can take one of their spells and one of their manifestations and one of their prayers to make your own custom lore. The idea being that this whole narrative of play around is the idea of like, what if there were lots of Iron Jaws, but the spells were all glued by Git spells. All spells start with the declaration of you must pick an Ead Stompas wizard, not a Iron Jaws wizard or a Sons of Bahamut wizard, but the rest of the spell stays the same. And that's my Iron Jaws, Cruel Boys, Ogres mix-up on the table, or my Ead Stompas, coming in at, I believe it was 1960 points. I will double-check that after this. But yeah, should be a bit of a giggle. Shall we look at what you've got on the table?
Yeah, so over this side we're playing Order, which is a mixture of Stormcast Eternals and Sylvaneth. So what I have to play with, as you can see a little bit on the sheet of paper, is the Lions of Azyr. That is my little, like, Grand Alliance thingamajig. So we have the Lion's Roar, things that I can do in my hero phase, which buffs things and heals things. We've got, I'm just reading it like through the camera here. We've got the ability to get a ward. We've got the ability to make the other enemies suffer stuff to their saves. We've got some good things. The spells and prayers we've got are from the Stormcast. The prayer that we've got is Translocation, to move things around the board. The spell we've got from Stormcast is Thundershock, to do damage, because we like it. And then the spell we've got from Sylvaneth, because there are no prayers, is Tree Song. The ability to create wildwood just to spring up across the board. Don't have any manifestations in this army. To say who we've got on the board, we've got some good old Stormcast favourites, and then the hardest bit was picking which of my heroes from Sylvaneth I wanted. So, just going right to left, really, because that's easier. We've got a set of Annihilators with Meteoric Grand Hammers. We've got Lord Relictor, both Stormcast. We've got some Tree Revenants, Sylvaneth. We've got Arch Revenant here, who is my general. 2 sets of Kurnoth Hunters with scythes, also Sylvaneth. We have a set of Annihilators with shields, Stormcast. Bastion, badass Stormcast. Tree Lord Ancient, Sylvaneth Wizard. Vindictors, Cannon Fodder. Another set of Annihilators with Meteoric Grand Hammers. Smacky. Because we are doing these, this whole like different army setup, I can't have any of the good stuff like the Celestial Realm. The Stormcast can't use the Wildwood to bamf around because it's not on their card. But the stuff on the Wildwood card still applies to the Wildwood. If Blaze of Glory was still a thing, we couldn't have that. So the Stormcast... I
nearly did add that into this.
The Stormcast are dull. They're not going to do anything good. But everything that's on their cards is still relevant. This is a total army points of 1950. So I will be starting the game on 5 CP, and you're starting it also on 5 CP because you've got less units altogether, less regiments.
Auxiliaries.
Auxiliaries.
Yeah, we're playing just a general
Yeah.
game from the core rulebook. I think it's First Blood pack.
Yeah.
So we're doing stake claim there. So it's not a bit. We're already play testing some things. If you want to give us feedback on what you think about these
Yes,
regiments or these armies of renown, please do, because I do want to get these a bit more refined as they get some feedback, and as we play around with them a bit more, we can redefine them, do other videos with them, have a bit of a play around. The theme that I went for with the order thing, because again, I've played 1 or 2 games against Seraphon. I've never played against Lumineth. I've never played against Caradron Overlords. So I'm aware of parts of those, but I have written this knowing the armies that we have. So it might be that there's something glaringly obvious that I've missed. So let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think.
Oh, in terms of my artefact and whatnot, obviously we can't pick any of the Sylvaneth or Stormcast artefacts that already exist. So, Tree Lord Ancient has something called Grimnir's Prototype, which is where the bonuses he gets to one of his melee weapons are erased, and he gets to pick from one of these each battle round. But his weapon already does crit mortals, so he'll just be using that to start with. And then Arch Revenant, my general, is using Sigmar's Messenger. So enemy units within 12 inches of him suffer a penalty to their charge rolls equal to the control score of this hero. And Roared Lions of Azyr units gain a 12 inch, within 12 inches, gain a bonus to their charge rolls equal to the control score. Pretty sure his control score is 2. Yes, it's a 2.
Yeah. So the themes I've gone for with the Lions of Azyr is this kind of like paladins of the world, the kind of the last bastions, the shields against the darkness.
There's the last bastion. Hey, look at his face.
But like this idea of like these kind of like stalwart heroes who there's nothing really. I've tried not to make it lean into one army specifically, but hopefully it comes across as like that in the game, and hopefully it'll play a bit better. It also could absolutely destroy me because it's the one I spent the most time on. So I really liked the theme, whereas the destruction one I kind of got a bit lost because it's hard to define what destruction is overall, other than a lot of people who just want to fight.
Yeah, basically that, yeah.
I think going into this already, I really want to play around with the idea of hero hammer with the Ead Stompas, and like encouraging you to actually take nothing but heroes. Almost like, you know, when that if you've ever read any of the books, guys, there's or you've seen any of the lore, there's that thing of like Godrak, for example. Everyone's like, war bosses fight amongst each other all the time, and mega bosses punch each other in the head just to tell each other they like each other.
Yeah.
But nobody hits Gordrak because Gordrak is terrifying. And that thing of like, who's going to take on King Brod because he's the biggest and the baddest? And what if actually your own custom little heroes, a bit like a Path to Glory, you make this kind of narrative of it's not encouraging you to take Kragnos, it's not encouraging you to make Godrak, it's actually encouraging you to make your own, find these narratives and play around with them. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. We're going to jump straight into this. I don't understand why the app that we use keeps telling us this, but we're going to work on the concept of I won the deployment or won priority from the deployment, so I can pick it. It's not that I must go first. If you know in the comments where that is, I will be Googling this after this.
Yeah, please.
Because I keep getting a bit confused by this. But I'm going to say, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh.
Because then I can panic.
Okay, great, thanks.
And we'll be back in a moment for Lions of Azyr, turn 1. Hello and welcome back to this. We did some Googling whilst we were off. The core rulebook says the person who wins deployment must go first, unless the battle pack says otherwise. I can't see anywhere in the general handbook cards that it overrides it, so actually it's the Ead Stompas Turn 1.
Yes, it is.
The Lions of Azyr Turn 1.
That's why you're talking and not me.
Yes, I went for the tactic of take their land, so I was trying to take this piece of terrain over here. It has 3 on it thanks to Bastion and one of those little Vindictors sitting on it. I thought, let's have a go. Hang on, actually.
Hold on, what's his OC?
His OC is 2, but he's Kunnin, because I selected some Kunnin things.
Okay.
Maybe this is something that I need, because you control terrain as if it was an objective.
Steve is working things out as we do.
You still here, whilst contesting an objective outside of friendly territory that you do not control, which he is. Friendly Ead Stomper units gain a bonus to their thing. He'd still be free for free, so he doesn't take it.
No, be contested. Oh, that's a shame.
I think I will put that in there to say that this also includes for take their land. They can do that.
Make their own rules better.
But yeah, the idea I've gone for. So beginning of the turn, I selected my my boss stomper already was Cunning. He selected this set of brutes to be Cunning.
And remind me what Cunning does.
Cunning is just a keyword that affects them later with the rules I've written, so they can run and charge, and they get an ability in the combat phase that I could select one hero and non-hero unit of the same faction keyword. They cannot be selected more than once per game, I believe, off the top of my head. And they get +1 to hits and attacks, but then they also get to reroll hits of 1. And then, like I say, they can't be played. So I can't keep doing those two sort of thing for that ability. And also, they heal D3 on the if they're contesting an objective they don't control at the outside of friendly territory. So it's kind of this idea of they've ran in, they're smashing whatever they can find, and they go, hang on, there are still people here, we're going to get ready for a fight. Excuse me. In the hero phase, the Tyrant gave +3 to control score for the Gluttons. The Gnashtooth gave this set of Gut Rippers +3 for their control score. They, the Tyrant and the Gnashtooth were made Cunning, and so were their Gut Rippers and Gluttons. Both of them, I realised I ran them out. I should have potentially spent a point at the double them to give me a better chance, but they ran out with a 3-inch run, and then they needed an 11-inch charge to get over there, because I was trying to, basically I was going to run them into these Vindictors so I could then sit on that terrain piece as well as killing a unit, potentially opening up a problem of those Annihilators and coming and smashing me, but also it would have been a giggle. Summoned the Jaw of Gillette. Jaw of Gillette, I keep saying that. I summoned the Gnashing Jaws. Didn't get my what's it called? The Bloody Feast from my Butcher. And these little guys, they had 2 or 3 that could see those Vindictors, tried to shoot them, couldn't shoot them. And Emma forgot that she had a deployment ability with her Stormcast that we debated doing.
Ability with Bastion where up to 3 Stormcast units could move a normal move in deployment. Had forgotten about it because I thought it was a Stormcast ability, not specific to Bastion. And then decided not to do it because it felt wrong to do it so late into your turn, actually. If it had just been deployment just over and then it was your turn, your hero phase, maybe, but it felt too late, so...
So if you know online that we should be actually going, you can pick who the deployment winner has priority, not they must go first. Please do let us know, because I can't see it online, and I feel like I've missed something in the previous videos. However... nothing else really of note in this turn. I've got 1 and 2 and more, but I don't get tactic, so puts me on a total of 6 points out of 10. And we'll be back in a moment, unless you've got anything else you want to say. Oh, we've already started amending the rules.
Yeah, we have, yes.
So if Emma did say, I can't remember if Emma did say, but if Emma did say the Lion's Roar thing at the beginning, you had to be in combat. Now you don't have to be in combat because we want to try and give this a bit more chance.
I don't think I read them out properly. So.
Doesn't matter. It'll be on the screen right as we did it. Because Steve will have edited this after the fact.
Yes.
But anyway... then, if that's the case, we'll come back with the Lions of Azyr Turn 1 in but a moment. Bye! That's mine, not yours. Fuck off.
We called whatever the Stormcast version is of Warg.
You roared, I believe, is the phrase.
Rawr.
Yes, very good.
So, we came, we saw, we conquered, we took stuff, we healed. Took Do Not Waver as my tactic. 2 units have to fight, no units have to die, which was successful because we had a Bastion there and those Annihilators in there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything moved a little bit. We tried to translocate, but it failed. Tree Lord got his ability to, if he's not in combat, move him, put him 9 inches away from an enemy, so he moved over here. He also tried to, somebody did a spell, I can't remember what it was, but never mind, it doesn't matter. I feel like you're reading Tree Lord's card and you're about to tell me I did it wrong.
We'll have a chat afterwards.
Okay, sure. I feel like I did something with it. Yeah, stuff moved. Really should have just inched these Annihilators forward a tiny little bit because they're just off that objective, and if I moved them forward a little bit they'd be on it and we would get an extra point. But anyway, 2 units for Bastion and those Annihilators over there. Nothing died. Bastion killed a load of...
She killed 4 Gut Rippers.
Gut Rippers.
Annihilators killed 3
Annihilators
Gluttons.
killed 3 of them. And also there was some shooting damage from Tree Lord at the start as well that helped take them down. Nothing died. Bastion took 4 damage and then healed 4 because he killed some units. The Annihilators, we nearly lost 1 Annihilator, but we didn't. So that's kind of where it is. I'm in the lead by 8 points because I've got 1, 2 and tactic.
Whereas I just got 1, 2 and more, which gave me 6, so you're a lead by 2.
Lead by 2. So yes,
Lovely.
That's been turn 1 for the Stormcast trees.
Yeah, I tried to cast Bloody Feast again to try and get a bit more of a punch over here.
Yeah.
And then a lot of just defending.
You did fight against Bastion with both your...
yeah, the lucky I had with the brutes over here, by redeploying the Gut Rippers back, the brutes were just within 3 inches of anything that came in front of them.
Yeah.
So with a good positioning, I was able to use the brutes and the Gut Rippers to do 4 damage in total.
4 damage in total, and then
He's
healed
bloody ward.
Healed it back up.
Yeah, I think in total I did 7 plus the 5 damage, because I had a really bad roll on the brute's attack as well. So yeah, there's about 13 damage was done to him. He warded all bar 4, and then because he's killed a model, he got him back. But yes, I used my brutal efficiency with the Nash Boss and the Nash Tooth and the Gut Rippers. Yes.
Oh yeah, we shot your horse a little bit.
The affectionately remembered the Hitcher. That thing that you used to hate so much back in 3rd edition. And yeah, I burnt all my CP, whereas you finished on all bar 1, I think.
1, yeah, I've got 1
so
left.
We've got to roll off now for round 2. I'm going to lose all my things in a minute, I think. My cunning.
1 with your dice. Your dice are terrible today. My dice are actually rolling quite well.
I got a 3. I think I can't let you double turn me because that'll be ridiculous.
No.
So I will be going for the Ead Stompas Turn 2. No. We've had a bit of a thing, all those in the comments who went, Steve, you're an idiot.
Oh yeah, you said you were going to say you were a moron.
Remember, yes, Stephen was a moron. Stephen, true to his destructive self, doesn't play Order because he's not intelligent enough, doesn't play Chaos because he's not devious enough. He plays Destruction because whoa. Anyway, so yes, Stephen has read his app and realised that the book, core rulebook, doesn't get updates. Like the app got an update where they wrote the thing wrong in the book, and they said, rather than it being the person who wins deployment must go first, it was the person who goes first must pick who goes first. And then every other round you just do normal priority.
Yeah.
So actually, it could have been you first, but it doesn't matter because this is a game where we're just trying some stuff out, and I'm interested in seeing. I always try to make you go first because I like to react more, but I find that I have a better win rate if I go first.
Yes, I feel like you'll win this one, even though I'm currently leading by 2 points.
I don't know, you've got quite a lot of Raw units on the board, even though someone didn't pay attention to that.
Somebody did pay attention to that.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
But also, I think someone may have made a mistake with a Tree Lord, and we'll find that out in a second.
We'll find out in a minute.
But yes, I'm already starting to think I like the feel of the game so far. We've done a round. I really like the cunning.
You can also move back if
Yeah.
he's in a problem.
I really like the Kunnin stuff with the destruction at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't really used my stuff yet. So
Yeah.
we've still got that to
Maybe
go.
the thing I was saying where I feel like yours is going to absolutely trounce me because I've spent so much time on it, and then the quick edit rush that I did of what was called the Titans of Gur may actually be better now. But we'll find out in a moment as we go into Ead Stompas Turn 2.
Bye.
Welcome back to Ead Stompas Turn 2. I sound really Ead Stompy, don't I?
Who is Ead Stompas? He sounds like a nice guy.
Welcome to Ead Stompas.
Stompas.
Right, so we went for Take the Flanks. There was a bit of umming and ahhing and losing my mind, and also forgetting that as of recording we recently got a battle tome, which also confused me with the spells, but also I got Big Green Hand of Gork wrong. Anyway, because I was going to translocate, or Big Green Hand of Gork, my cruel boys over into this direction, forgot it has to be wholly within 24 inches of the caster that they they land in again. So, in fact, I cast Mork's Kunnin on them, so they got +1 to save. Over this way, the Greasy Deluge. I didn't do that. He should have had more attacks. I cast not Greasy Deluge, Blood Feast on the Tyrant, so he got +1 to his attacks. So I need to roll those out in a minute, because we've already done some bits to see what would happen with the Tree Lord if he had played properly, because someone misread their rules. But
we fixed it.
We did fix it. That's
we did fix it.
I got Cunning on the Weird Knob and the Butcher after much deliberation.
Did you fight with the Butcher?
I did. He failed miserably.
Oh, okay.
Put Cunning on him because he was within 3 inches of those guys. He gave them Cunning as well. They and ahed again. I retreated with them, taking D3 mortals and giving just a 3-inch space between the two of them,
yep.
Which meant that they could help me get my tactic
Yay!
of take the flanks because they're not wholly within friendly territory.
No.
They are within 6 inches of the short edge,
Yep.
as well as over here, where Rhino and Co decide to come do some smashing. As I used the new and improved.
Yes.
I quite like the version of Lead the Brutes. I'm not going to be here going, the new book is crap. I like the fact that you don't have to roll anymore. You just pick a unit within combat of him, and they get +1 to attacks and fight immediately after.
Yes.
Which is good. So you can make just like a really nasty bubble.
Yeah, you can.
Like those two who deleted a set of Annihilators.
They did.
And then just watch the Relictor saunter up and go 2 damage in return.
Just smack. Relictor does actually smack. And if you all out attack him, he's got more chance of smacking.
Yeah, I think the beauty of
all out attack, more chance to smack.
I think the beauty of the Stormcast is they are the pinnacle of what I'm thinking of when I say the Lions of Azyr, of these kind of like big bulking units of armour running in with massive swords and smashing down anyone who wants to take freedom from anyone.
Don't want to play anything else. If anyone wants to buy a load of Sylvaneth, let me know.
Cool. Speaking of, we
might have to put joke on the screen just in case anyone tries.
I ran this bubble in here because there's a bit of umming and ahhing and losing our minds, but they managed to run in, take out the Tree Revenants.
Yep.
The Jaws did a bit of flying around, did a bit of damage, and also took some damage as well.
Jaws can't occupy objectives, can they?
No.
Okay, yeah, infestations.
And then the fun little bit in the middle here.
Hello, boys.
I charged the Tyrant to deal with Bastion and the Tree Lord. You then give him strike last.
Yeah.
But his item...
You did kill Bastion.
He gets 2 fights. The second gets strike last and -1 to hit and wound. And then you gave him strike last on his first attack.
He's my favourite boy.
And then the Brutes decided to smash
wasn't
Bastion.
Yep.
So the Tyrant tried to take down the Tree Lord, did a couple of bits of damage on 2 strike last abilities, and that was all we wrote for the Ead Stompas. We got 1, 2 objectives, not more than our opponent, but we got a tactic, bring us to 14 to 10 in favour of the Ead Stompas. We're about to go into your turn 2 where you're going to change that.
Yes, hopefully. That's the plan anyway.
Well, at the beginning of the video, we edited it so we would see what the Tree Lord Ancient would have done. He killed my Cruel Boy hero, so I'm now struggling to pick anyone else.
Yeah, basically I read the wrong card, so never mind.
That's fine.
Shit happens.
We're learning a new army, and this is your second game properly on the channel with Sylvaneth. So, and I think the third...
Also had some end of turn abilities I've not done.
We'll sort that out
We'll sort that out on our turn.
But I did ask the question of end of turn. Anyway,
I know, and I knew there was something and I wasn't with it. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, absolutely fine. This is the second game I've seen you play with the Tree Lord Ancient, so not knowing him that well
I like him. He is one of my faves.
I think the Sylvaneth are a good army for you.
He shits on Durthu. Only because Durthu asks him to. Consent is always important.
We're not here to kink shame.
Even if you're a tree.
But yeah, that was all we wrote for this turn. It was a very heady turn, trying to remember both
it was actually
army rules, but also working out
took 45 minutes, and I think you saw it in what, like...
Probably 5, 2.
Something with all the speedy ups. But we're drinking tea to keep us going.
But yeah, I'm quite happy so far. Quite happy with how the Ead Stompas are going.
Yes.
I might need to revisit some things, but meh.
I'm all right with the Lions of Azyr. It seems a little bit complicated, but I'm not great with a load of words.
They have been written. So when I wrote them. I put several Armies of Renown in front of me. So I used like the Visic one from the Skaven, and I looked at the Stormcast one, and I looked at the First Prince from Slaves to Darkness. So I have been balancing it. I mean,
it's fine anyway, because I've been using the ward that you've given them. I used the all-out attack for free. I've used that now. I can't use it again. There's other stuff that they've got that I'm using, so we're okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
yes.
Let's, unless there's anything else from you, dear.
No, there isn't.
Shall we go into the Lions of Azyr turn 2?
Let's do it.
Bye!
was turn 2. Stormcaster leading 16-14. Tried to get an easy win with Seize the Centre, and then Steve put some stabby things within combat range of Tree Lord, so we couldn't get it. But we killed a lot of stuff. Translocated over here. Did some damage to things, I'm sure, using a spell. Oh no, because you unbound it, that's fine. There isn't much to say. We just killed some stuff.
It was a very fighty turn.
It was very fighty. That's like, I don't know what else to say about it. That's kind of all that happened. We killed your Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Killed that guy who was fighting that Annihilator. Yeah, that really is all, like, to say the trees did some damage. That kind of, like, the Wildwood did some damage, and that kind of is all that happened. Nothing really happened. I've got no points left. You've got, I don't know, but we're
I ran
on
out
to
of points
turn
as well.
So it's fine. That was the end of Stormcast turn 2.
Right. So,
You
shall
reckon
we?
it'll be over soon? I don't
Well,
think so.
yeah. Well, if we look at it, my cunning things, I've only got the guy over here that will be cunning because I've got only.
Oh.
I can only pick one. I can technically put it on the Weird Knob Shaman, but I have no other heroes on the board now, so
Yeah.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop using my cunning ability now. I'm essentially going to create a cunning like spearhead over here into the next round. But there will also be the problem of like trying to deal with the fallout.
It's kind of tricky, actually.
Yeah, let's roll off and see where we're going.
2.
I've got a 1, so you have choice. You just went, so...
I'll let you go first.
I was about to say, if you choose now, you're stealing the initiative.
Yeah, no,
and
I
then,
don't. I need all the points I can get.
So you're going to let me go first?
Because I don't know what tactic I can do now.
That's fine. Well, let's come back in a moment. We're definitely starting to feel the burn of the game.
Yeah,
so this could potentially be the last round, especially with how everything's just got locked up with one another.
Yeah, there's certain things that can move, but everything's in a lot of fights. So
the problem that we have with this playtesting as well is that we only had certain units. So you could have used Fire Slayers in this.
Yeah.
I could have used my Frost Lord on Stonehorn, but we don't have I don't have any Goonsfight Gits. I don't have any Sons of Bahamut. You don't have anything other than the Fire Slayers that aren't on the board, and then
Daughters of Cain
as well. You have the other problem of just like I was noticing when I was writing my list last night of like so my bubble that I wrote was 550 points of ogres, and that's just 2 heroes and a unit, and suddenly you're like, oh god, so there's not a lot of space.
No, mine is like 820 trees and over 1,000 Stormcast, only because I wanted to put in Karazai, but it's Tree Lord actually nothing takes up a big chunk of space like Karazai would. Everything's fairly similar. Tree Lord's a bit hefty, Bastion's a bit hefty, but not much more than anything else.
I would have really liked to have a Maw Crusher.
Yeah, I would have liked Karazai to have been in this.
But yeah,
try this again with like dragons only.
Well, yeah, this is the thing, is we're going to be play testing this, trying out some different versions. We'll have feedback, hopefully, from our lovely viewers. Please comment. And then we'll come back and see what we do. Like in a few weeks' time, there'll probably be another game, or say a few videos' time, there may be another one.
We'll try something different.
But let's go into Ead Stompas Turn 3 and see how we do. And then we can go from there. There's already been some very interesting conversations happening off camera.
Yeah.
Not about the game as such or the army,
just about life,
but just about Warhammer in general, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I like about Warhammer, the chats that you have along the way. But
it's not about winning or losing, it's about the chats you have along the way.
Shall we see what happens in this next turn and go from there?
Okay.
Back in a moment.
Bye. We're very stressed. This has been most of our day.
Welcome to Ead Stompas Turn 3.
Yes.
Went for the simple tactic of slay the entourage. I thought that weedy little arch revenant over there, he's getting it. I put Kunnin, I already have Kunnin because he's the Ead Stomper, on the Mega Boss. He had the brutes within 3 inches of him, so they could be Kunnin as well. Because there's no one else on the board that could be Kunnin, the Weird Knob Shaman just got Kunnin for the sake of it. We ran around the corner with them, got that objective, nice, but I had 2 motives in mind across the board. They needed a massive charge into the Kurnoffs and Arch Revenant, cheekily redeployed, so I had a problem with them. And on the other side of the board, over here, with my 2 Fat Larrys, they needed a long bomb charge into the Relictor.
Which we got.
To stop you having another roar.
Yes.
And also take that objective back so I could start scoring some proper points.
Yep.
As you can see, the Arch Revenant is still standing. As you can see, the massive bubble of yellow Stormcast kind of models. I think that's a set of Annihilators and like a Bastion or something like that over there. I don't know. They look like Stormcast.
Do they?
They paint themselves yellow because they take the other Stormcast.
They're so stupid. Also, I always think, just a moment of, I always think that like skull bit is your Mega Boss's head, and actually his head is this ugly thing on the side.
I think that skull is a Draconif's head.
Yeah, and I just think that that's his head, and he's like looking sideways, and he isn't at all.
It's like a wink to Karazai every time he's on the board. Like,
yeah.
Hey, look, this is your cousin.
Hey, look, killed a dragon, and it's tiny.
Oh,
actually, no, it's not. It's about the same size as Karazai's head.
Yeah, because it's too big to be like a...
What is this, people? I mean, actually, if we read the book, it will probably say the lore in it of like why he wears
does.
Anyway.
So yeah, we smash.
Yeah,
we tried to smash. Didn't work. But we killed Relictor. Hardly know her. We dealt with the cruel boy, the Kurnoff infestation in the middle.
Yes.
Those cruel boys have been a very nice shield for the the 5 brutes.
I know, right?
This entire game. The poor little Manscubalt boys had a massive tree fall on them. Over here, a branch fell and killed the one.
I know, it did actually. It was damage from the wild one over here that killed that guy.
And that's all she wrote. So I didn't get my tactic, but I do get 1, 2, and more, putting us on a total of 20 to 16 in the Headbangers' favour. But now we must find out if the Headbangers can survive 1 more roar. Anything for you before we jump into Lion's turn?
No, I'm scared.
I think this could be it.
Okay.
This is the last roar.
Okay, maybe. We don't know. I can pick someone who's roared before, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you said that bit's still the same.
Nope. It still says you can only pick 1 hero to roar each turn.
Okay,
you
fine.
can still be roared multiple times.
Yeah, you can.
But a hero can only roar once.
That's fine. All right. Okay. End of your talk.
End of my talk.
Bye.
and welcome back to what we didn't think was going to be a long talk out.
Oh my word, this has been so long.
So what you'll have seen,
Yes,
and I'll put a little thing here
Yes.
on the video, or just earlier you will have had it on there. We had a bit of a misunderstanding where Emma's morale dropped. I thought I'm screwed trying to win this game. So we kind of just went, let's just talk round 4 out quickly and then we'll talk it at the end of it. The problem with that was because round 4
oh my god, yeah.
took 15 minutes to talk out, we should have just played it normally.
So what happened for me at the end of turn 3, because I've not been able to talk that out, because we started talking out 4 or 5. So what happened for me at the end of turn 3 was I took the tactic to slay the entourage and kill Blind Pew. As you can see, because I've remembered, as you can see, my Kurnoth hunters killed him. He is no longer on that objective. So he was dead. This Annihilator with a hammer over here charged in and managed to kill both of those ogres that were there, which was weird. So took control of that objective. So by the end of that turn, I had this objective here, that one over there, not that one because the Kurnoths were just off it, but had got the tactic. So I got 1, 2 and tactic. That was the end of round 3. Then we talked through 4 and 5 because at first glance it seemed like there wasn't anything that we could do. However, once we started looking into it, actually there was more we could do and we started rolling the fights.
Yes.
So I'll let you carry on where you left off.
That's fine. Round 4, we had the bubble in the middle of the Kurnoth,
Yes.
the Cruel Boys and the
Annihilators.
the Cruel Boys and the Brutes, and then the Vindictors and the Annihilators. I took Do Not Waver and basically ran everything that way and that way.
Yep.
The Kurnoths redeployed onto this objective.
Yep.
And I stupidly left the guys over in the back corner because I was like, I don't really see the point in doing anything with them. How wrong I was.
How wrong you were.
I could have, not sure about this one, but no, it would have been way too far.
Oh god, yeah, that was I would have been quite the run.
I was just thinking if I'd ran them both turns and redeployed both turns, I could have potentially moved fairly far, but I don't know. Either way. So, yeah, we destroyed the Annihilators down to 1. We kept this kind of little stalemate in the middle. And I got 1 and 2 and tactic, because these two fought but didn't die. And the Annihilators were brought down to a little bit. You took the guys over here.
My turn.
Brought you to your round.
Brought me to my round. There was not a lot I could do in terms of fighting, so went for take the flanks as an objective. Auto ran this one Annihilator over here to the edge. Ran the Kurnoths for 1, so they're within 6 inches of the edge. Tactic achieved. Already had 1, 2 or more objectives, so didn't need to get anything there, so that was a full 10 points. Okay, turn 5.
And then round 5, very simply, I win priority. The easiest thing I could do is to retreat with these guys onto the objective with their 5-inch move, which gives me seize the centre, and I would have 1 and 2 for the tactic. As I say, I think with a redeploy and so running there, so I've got 4-inch move. So that's 8 inches plus at least a d6 on each of them, just out of interest.
Where are you trying to move them to?
So we're going to go with the 2 turns of run that I miss, so 6, so that gives me 8, 12, 14, then redeploy them both turns for another 12. So actually I could have gone to that objective.
Okay.
But it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually affect anything there.
No, because it seems like the gap in the scores was too big for that too.
Let's go with the golden circle of that did actually happen with redeploys and things like that.
Sure.
So that would get me 1, 2 more and my tactic. You then went into your round.
I went into my round of take their land. So these Vindictors here are on that terrain piece that's in Steve's territory because those stabby boys have retreated. So we automatically take it. Didn't do anything.
We just kind of went,
because, I don't, there's no
the
point.
round 5 for both of us was just,
least
that could
of where
be
it is.
done.
So I got 1, 2 more tactic. Although if you'd taken that, had you taken that on round 5?
It would have been my round 5. I would get it for 1 more tactic.
So then basically I would have 1, 2 in tactic. So
let's just go either way. So if I hadn't got it, it'd be 44 to 36 in your favour. Even if I do it, it's 38 to 42 in your favour.
Oh, okay.
You still get the major victory.
Still get the major victory. And that was that. That's I like that. I think you wrote something really good. Steve has now lost the will to live.
Yeah, that last, I'm completely just talking out my feelings. The game itself, I think that armies are okay. I think there's probably some fine-tuning and some other bits that I might want to play around with. Like we said, let us know in the comments. Unfortunately, the playing of that last 2 rounds didn't feel comfortable in a table manner, but I think that's because both of us just kind of gave up nearly around round 3.
I think we were just like, it's the end and there isn't much we can physically do, so we're just going, yeah, well, it's this, and this, isn't it?
Like we did at the beginning of the video, we put on the write-ups of this, so please screenshot them, go home and play your own versions of them if you want, see what you can do with them. If you've got nothing but Sons of Bahamut and you do it, what happens? If you've got a load of Order armies, because we've only used 2 of the 9 Order armies, if you use any of the 7 armies that weren't on the board, what happens? Let us know. It'd be very nice to hear.
Donate money to our coffee for the time Steve spent writing this.
Yes, coffee.com/nonsensehammer. There's a link on our channel if you'd like to go do that. And you can also go to our Patreon and join us if you want to get some shout-outs and such. And hopefully...
Yeah, we want to shout out people, but we don't have anyone to shout out so far. That sounds really sad.
But also, if you want to get updates on what's going on with these, or even maybe suggest other things going forward,
please.
Paid patrons will get first dibs rather than just giving anyone who chooses. You'll get to override anyone, including us. You'll tell us what to do.
Oh, I don't like that, but that definitely seems a reason to go on the Patreon.
But yeah, not really much else to say at this point.
No. I enjoyed it.
What I will say is, I know I haven't used their faction rules.
Yeah.
But I had a bloody good time playing Iron Jaws and Cruel Boys.
I had a fun time going against them.
As much as I keep whinging every video that maybe I'll sell them, I don't use them that much.
No, they've done really well, actually.
I bloody love them. They are, they did good for me. Those gut rippers.
Oh, they were mental, yeah. They were a bit insane, actually. And I've just gone, oh, my Stormcast, my boys, I've not played in so long.
The Iron Jaws did what the Iron Jaws do best.
Yeah,
and they just ran at things and smashed.
I look forward to playing them in a future game.
I actually think that going forward, they could. I think we're going to need a balanced data slate to fix them properly, like the actual rules, and I would like to see them actually in their own rules rather than in this stupid one that we've written. But I'd really like to see them on the board. I hear that on the Wohammer meta-analysis that came out this morning, that they're quite high on the performances, thanks to LVO and co. So Iron Jaws may be back, baby!
Yeah! That may be really loud in the camera, sorry.
But yes, let us know what you want to see.
Yes.
We're bloody knackered.
We're so knackered. We're now literally going to play another game that's testing something else out.
Let us know what you want to see. We're currently hoping to do Iron Jaws versus Cruel Boys on the 14th.
Yep.
But we're hoping that the balanced data slate for the Battle Tome comes out before then.
Yeah. Because
we don't really want to run them and then you guys go, but this isn't how it runs. So yeah, that may change, but 14th of February we're going to play Battle for the Pass, I think it is.
Yep.
And Battle for the Pass will have a nice little Valentine's Day special on top of it, but it will just be a general 2,000 point game of General's Handbook. So come back for that.
Yay!
And then March 1st you can come and see what happened with the Flesh Eater Courts and the Daughters over the last 2 months of we've been building them out with their spearheads.
Yes!
That's been a headache. And then the future holds many bright and wonderful things.
Yep.
But much like a weird knob looking into the distance and wondering how many skulls it's going to pop in this battle, we don't know how many. And we don't know what's going to happen.
No.
So until then, you'll find out, because it's been 0 days since your last nonsense. Bye!
Bye!